Hello, Shaker Heights varsity baseball fans, and welcome in here to the Shaker Heights High School varsity baseball field, where your Red Raiders will be taking on the Mayfield Wildcats for their 17th game of the season. Shaker entering into today, split with their 16 first games. That's 8-8 their records, 7-5 in Ohio currently due to that San Diego tournament. They started off 1-3, but now here in Shaker, 7-3 has been their record since returning. Their last 5 games hold 4 victories and 1 loss. That 1 loss coming in the GCC. So they're currently 4-2 in the Greater Cleveland Conference, that new league for Shaker. They competed in the Lake Erie League last year. They went completely undefeated, but they knew heading into this new conference that it would be a different kind of challenge for them. They're still in the conference with Cleveland Heights, so one of those wins come from Cleveland Heights, and that was an expected victory yesterday. 7-3 was your final there on the road, and it's a totally different atmosphere from now to what it was yesterday. Yesterday was fully gray, and it was really quite cold. It was in the 40-degree range, and yeah, no sun, so it's completely different from what it is today. It's 50 degrees, so it may seem a little chilly, and that it really is. However, the sun is out, making it that much better. Not really a single cloud in the sky, and so it's pretty good Northeast Ohio baseball weather. Here today, Shaker will be having their last game before their Pennsylvania overnight game tomorrow. They'll be taking on North Allegheny, and the wind gusts a little bit much up here, but nothing in comparison to that last home game for Shaker. It was against Normandy, and a great game it was. They started off losing 7-0, but they came back to win it 8-7 in 9 innings. 2 extra innings is what ended up being the separation between the two schools. So Shaker remained in the win column, moving their win streak up to 4, and so now they're looking to build back a win streak here with their back-to-back wins, hopefully, if they can beat the Wildcats here today. It should be Colt Klein on the mound starting us off. That was the plan all along. They were going to have Casey Robinson, the ace of the team, face Brunswick on Monday, then Tyler Zach on Tuesday, Wesley Lewis, the freshman, on Wednesday. However, that had to switch up a little bit. The reason being is because Tuesday's game was postponed due to inclement weather. Now we have the national anthem. We're going to step aside for a minute. And with the anthem of the nation, we are set for some Northeast Ohio baseball. These two schools not in the same league. Mayfield actually competes in the Western Reserve Conference, and other schools in that would be Willoughby South. You're going to see North as well. And Kenston is in that conference, but also Riverside, who is a late season opponent for Shaker Heights. So the defensive lineup for you today: out in the outfield, you're going to find Nate Landever out in left field, the sophomore back at it. Last time he was here, he got that RBI to win the game in that ninth inning. So he's back. He's on a streak of success here at home, so why not keep him there? Over at center, it's Will Tagan, and at right, it's Andrew Fogarty. He got injured over there, actually, the last time he was out in that outfield, and that was just due to an over-the-shoulder attempted catch that he went down right by that warning track. I guess there's not really a warning track here at the high school field, but just in front of the wall. And he went down. Will Tagan had to back him up, but it was just a bit too late after he noticed Fogarty was down, so it ended up being an inside the park home run. Shaker still won that game 9-7, splitting the series against Menor, but that was the case for Andrew Fogarty. He's back in. His last time he actually played, he was the relief pitcher, and he pitched a gem. We can tell you more about that as the game goes on. On the infield, you're going to see Berglund over at right. You're finding O'Shea Howard at second base. Brett Moore handling the duties between second and third. And then the third baseman himself is going to be Sam Luther, number 11, the junior. Again, on the mound, it's going to be Cole Klein. I believe catching the balls and strikes here today is going to be Quentin Garnett. Braden White might be designated hitter. We're awaiting that lineup here on Game Changer. My goodness, Game Changer has been a help to us all season long. And now Cole Klein is set for the first pitch of the ball game. Here it comes. And this one cut on, sent to the right side, and foul. And fouls can help you out. We saw it yesterday. Wesley Lewis came in the final inning of relief for Shaker Heights, pitched an immaculate inning, and that was just something special. Here's the next kick and the offering from the left-handed dealer. That one upstairs. 1-1 the count to start us off. Again, Shaker coming off of that victory yesterday against Cleveland Heights, 7-3. That immaculate inning was just the icing on the cake. That time inside, ball 2. Klein currently pitching with an ERA of 1.68. This one sent over to the shortstop. Brett Moore plays it on the one hop, the throw, and he's going to beat it out. He is safe. That's going to be an infield single for Monastero, number 1. Just good location on the infield single. There was nothing Brett Moore could do about it. So 1 man up, 1 man on. Nobody out here as we're just getting set for the top of inning number 1. So Cope is going to be the next guy up. The right-handed hitter up against the left-handed pitcher. But yeah, Cole Klein in his last outing on the mound, he went the full 7 innings against Gilmore Academy. Here's his next pitch. That's going to be in there for strike number 1. He went the full 7 innings, got the win on the mound, of course, only giving up 4 hits and 2 walks. No batter was hit at all. So his ERA went down from 5.25 all the way down to 1.68. And yeah, that was just a fun game. If you were a fan, if you were a player, that it was just exciting. And Shaker didn't give him a lot of run support, only 2 runs, but that did the trick. That one upstairs, but in there for strike number 2. 1 and 2 the count. Nobody out just yet as Monastero stands off of first. The leadoff man on. Klein could use a good strikeout here. Here's a steal attempt. This one's grounded over to the right side and foul. So Monastero going to need a header right back. In his first outing, he did strike out 8. So we're hoping to see that same kind of thing here. Over a strikeout per inning is now what he's averaging after that outing. Here's the pickoff attempt over at first. Monastero back in safely. He's standing. Wasn't exactly that aggressive of a throw over that he had to suddenly make his move. Another 1-2 offering on its way. This one grounded over to the right side. It's going to be to O'Shea Howard, and he can't play it. Just gets through the 5-hole. Between the legs it goes through. Brett Moore able to pick him up, so it'll hold the lead runner, Monastero, at second, but Cope is now over at first. The first 2 guys on. And now Cole Klein quickly in a jam. 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the first inning. Cope now on base. Will bring Alexander, number 14, to the plate. The first pitch to him, upstairs, ball 1. The good thing we saw from Cole Klein in that Raider-Lancer matchup last week is that Klein wasn't exactly tense whenever we saw two balls in the count. That's something that a lot of pitchers at this level can struggle with, but he has been rather well suited in that position. Also, we did get confirmation it's going to be Braden White in the designated hitter position. That one off the plate, ball 2. Braden White in yesterday's game hit 2 great home runs. We can tell you more about that when he's up to the plate. But my goodness, it was fun to see him blast 2 over the wall. This one, looked a bit in tight, but ruled strike 1. I think the Wildcat up at the plate, Alexander, thought that was going to be a ball. He leaned back a little bit as it made its way to home plate. But he's not going to get the call he desires. There's a big swing and miss, so Cole Klein evens us up 2-2 the count. Nobody out just yet. Double play is in order here. Heck, the triple play is in order. Just not exactly ever a likely thing at any level of baseball. Here's the pitch. This one skied into center field. Will Tagan ranging back, making the grab, and sending this one in. And was off the mark. However, we don't get an advancement from Monastero, the lead runner at second. So all that changes is the first out is recorded for Cole Klein. Already up to 13 pitches. So we'll see if this continues to be his pitch amount all throughout the game. We will probably get someone in relief. Here's the first pitch in there, strike 1. Lewis, the batter. Same kind of spelling for Wesley Lewis. I'm going to assume they're not related, but you never know. But yeah, as mentioned, Wesley Lewis, what a game yesterday. That one in tight. Down low, Garnett loses it. However, none of the runners advance. They stay put. Wesley Lewis, 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts. After Tyler Zach pitched a good game as well. However, in the inning prior to that final one, this one sent down the third baseline, and it's fair. Waving him home is the third base coach, and that's actually going to end up over the head of Sam Luther as well, but that's going to score 1 run. Big RBI position, and Lewis recovers. And now it looks like a fan from the Shaker Heights field back here, the Russell H. Rupp Stadium, just threw a baseball into Will Tagan, so Tagan sending that right back to the Red Raider dugout. This one sent high over to left field. It's going to be caught by Landever, and that's going to be out number 2. So 2 away, 1 run has scored, and there's still a guy in scoring position, but with that fly out from pin zone, we now got 2 away, and the next man due up is going to be Dominic Prince. Dominic Prince, actually the guy to start off the pitching in last year's meeting, and now it looks like that one ran in and got him. Bases are loaded. But yeah, Dominic Prince, now actually on base. He opened up as the starter for Mayfield last time around. April 27th, 2023 was that game. Mayfield winning at 11-4. Only pitched 2 full innings and got 2 more outs other than that. There's a big swing and miss, so hopefully Cole Klein can bounce back. Prince did give up 2 runs, however, none of them were earned, and actually Shaker got 0 earned runs on the game because the next man in relief went the rest of the distance. He didn't allow any earned runs either, but gave up 2 as well. There, a big swing and miss upstairs once more. Lugrasso, the batter. Number 7 on the back of that green jersey. Here's the next pitch, down low and inside. Bases loaded, 2 away. Now an 0-2 count, or excuse me, now a 1-2 count with that one in tight and down low. Klein now already up to 21 pitches. Here's the 22nd here in the top of the first. The right leg kick, the pitch, and a swing and a miss. There's out number 3, and Cole Klein only lets one come across, but did start off in a jam. So Mayfield does get one to come across on 2 hits, no walks, but they did get a batter to be hit by a pitch. And so now Shaker is up to the plate. Due up, it's going to be O'Shea Howard and Quentin Garnett, and Will taking the 1-2-3 guys to start us off on offense. Let's see how they do when we come back. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here from the Shaker Heights High School baseball field. And we're back here for the bottom of the first. Shaker with already a little bit of catch-up to do, as O'Shea Howard is going to be the first guy due up for Shaker. Behind him, Quentin Garnett and Will Tagan, the 2 and 3 guys. But you always want someone on base before you get those 2 guys up. Quentin Garnett more consistent with his hits. Will Tagan, he's got some power, but he's also just dangerous in all manners of the game. Defensively, at the plate, he's got power, he's got contact. And let's see the first pitch from Argy. That one down low. Jack Argy, the right-handed pitcher here today, the senior. And in the report sent over to the Shaker team here today, describes him, they're a big swing and miss, describes him as a pitcher that's built like Wes Call. If you remember Wes Call from last year and years prior, if you're a Shaker Heights baseball fan, you're going to know Wes Call. He's now off in Cincinnati, that one down low. Actually, I believe going to attend the Shaker Cleveland Heights game next week, but he was a good pitcher. He specifically had a great junior year. There, a swing and miss. That's going to be strike number 2 to O'Shea Howard. Senior year was a bit more shaky for him. However, he did have great outings still in that senior season. But more on Jack Argy. You got low to mid 70-mile-per-hour fastballs. And other than that, he really works a changeup and curveball mix. That pitch upstairs. O'Shea Howard, number 2 on the back of that red jersey. A red versus green matchup, very festive. If you're a Christmas fan, this one's popped up into foul territory, or actually right on the line. O'Shea Howard pops this one up into the air, and it's an easy out for Alexander over at third. So there's out number 1. Good at-bat worked from O'Shea Howard. Gets a 6-pitch AB to start us off. 3 strikes, 3 balls, and on that payoff pitch, skied it up. This one sent right to the third baseman, and he's already, oh my goodness, that one way over the head of the first baseman. And so Quentin Garnett bolts to second. He's in there safely. My goodness, that throw really got away from him there. Alexander just made an easy catch, and after that, sends one way over the head of the first baseman, Dominic Prince. So, no doubt, that's going to go as error number 1 on Mayfield. As Quentin Garnett is now in scoring position as Will Tagan stands in the batter's box now. First pitch to him, cut on. This one's sent up, and catcher trying to play it over by the dugout. It'll fall right in front of him as a foul ball. Strike number 1 to Will Tagan. A couple of wind gusts coming our way. Our apologies if we got a shaky camera. Again, it's nothing compared to that Normandy game, however. Still a little bit of a chilly game, but the sun in the sky, so we're all feeling good. So 0-1 to Will Tagan. Garnett leading off of second. 1-0 your score, Mayfield leading. Here's the kick in the pitch to Will Tagan. That one's in there for strike 2. No doubt about it from the umpire. And from out here in the outfield, also looks like he made that right call. That was pitch number 9 from Argy. Here's the 10th. And it's going to be making its way to Tagan on the 0-2. Checks Garnett over at second. Now here's the pitch. Tagan lines this one our way. That's going to get down. One hops off of the wall. That's going to score Garnett, no problem. Tagan rounding second, but he's going to stay put. A big RBI double for Will Tagan, as that's going to get the Red Raider dugout buzzing. Almost ended up as a ground rule double. That took a high hop off the grass, almost made its way over the fencing. And so now just about that same situation, one away, one man on second. But now what we can say is there's one run up on the board for Shaker. 1-1, now we're tied. Very quickly is Tagan now taking his lead off of second, and Berglund is the new batter. Here's the first pitch to Berglund upstairs. Argy perhaps a little bit tense already. Good contact from Will Tagan there. And once again, you're seeing that power from him right into left center. He split the two outfielders, and it made its way in. Berglund, a hot shot off the bat, but that's going to end up foul down the third baseline. 1-1 now your score. Shaker with a good opportunity here to take the early lead. With a good swing from Berglund here, he's able to score 1 if not 2. We know he's got the power to send it over the fence, just as Braden White did twice yesterday. Braden White would be the next man up, assuming he gets his chance. He's in the on-deck circle here. Next pitch to Berglund. Ooh, looked a bit in tight. However, the umpire has called this now for both sides. You can assume that's just how the way his strike zone's working here today. That's going to be strike number 2 to Berglund. 1-2 the count on the big first baseman in the right-handed batter's box. Argy checking the runner, Will Tagan. Now the 1-2. Down low. Good eye from Berglund. Runner in scoring position for Will Berglund to do some damage. Now we're evened up at 2-2 the count with 1 away. Here's the pitch. This one's sent down the third baseline, and that's going to be fair this time. Tagan rounding third, he's heading home. Berglund heading over to second. He's in safely on the dive. That'll make the first lead of the ballgame for Shaker Heights. 2-1 now your score, and they're not done yet. 2 back-to-back RBI doubles make Shaker's lead to 1, and now they still have the opportunity to make it 2 here. Let's see what Braden White can do. First pitch to him, in there, strike 1. Shaker with the lead now. But again, still only 1 out. It's time for Shaker to do some more damage if they can. Here's the pitch, off the mark, ball 1. Shaker could really use this win to build up some momentum as they had on that 4-game win streak. They're looking for that same kind of thing here. Especially a home win. That one, a bit elevated, but it's going to rainbow its way into the strike zone. That's strike number 2 to Braden White, the designated hitter in today's game. Typically, you'll see him in the catcher position. We saw him in that position yesterday. However, today, he's just in there for his presence at the plate. This one's going to get away from the catcher, and Argy just seems a bit rattled out there at this point. Shaker up by 1, looking for more. Still only the bottom of the first inning, only 4 outs have been the case so far. Braden White swings through that one for strike number 3, and he's the second victim of the bottom of the first. Berglund taking his lead off of second. Here's the first pitch off the mark to the next man up, Nate Landever. Landever, number 21, he's out in left field here today. And he took that first one off the mark for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 to Landever. This one's skied into center field. That's going to end up into the glove of Lewis, and it'll make out number 3. So, each team has gotten a chance to strike just once. Shaker was able to strike twice, however, compared to Mayfield only striking once. So, Shaker leading by 1. Cole Klein back to the mound with his defense behind him. Let's see if Shaker can keep this score where it is. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. Already some offense to speak about. We'll see if we get some more here in the top of inning number 2. Cole Klein back to the mound. And the first pitch of the new inning down low for ball 1. Klein now up to 23 pitches. Pitched 22 in that first inning. 15 hitting the strike zone. So he is attacking these hitters. Just got to limit the contact. That one over the head of Garnett. He's going to get a new baseball here, as he wasn't able to make the grab above his head. So that'll bring us to a 2-0 count. Nobody out. We're just getting set for the top of the second inning. I believe Rugby just finished up their practice behind me up at the Russell H. Rupp Field. That's ball 3. And both men's and women's rugby are now off the field. Looks as though we're going to be getting women's lacrosse practicing behind me. That one runs in and it gets him. That's the second batter hit by a pitch so far, and so Cole Klein just needs to slow this down. Nobody out, one man on now. Cole Klein now already to the 8th batter in the order. Or excuse me, the last batter in the order. Fior, number 3. Fior looking for a big base knock to move his guy forward. That one in there, just a bit on the inside half of the plate. It'll catch it for strike number 1. 1 on, nobody out, and a 1-0 count to the last man in the order. Next pitch, down low. Halatzos, the man off of first. It actually looks like we might have gotten a pinch runner over there. But regardless, we know it's number 9. Now a 2-0 count, I believe. That one, swing and a miss. And at least that's what Game Changer was telling me. I thought we got the strike call earlier. However, Connor Adams, the man running Game Changer, would have a better view than me out here in left center field. 2-1, I'm told, is the count. Nobody out just yet. Here's the pitch. This one fouled back. So now, no matter the case, it's going to be a 2-2 count. Now no one can really dispute me on that. Nobody out. 2-1 your score. Shaker leading after the first inning of play. That one off the mark. Ball 3 will make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out just yet here in the top of the second, but there's one man on first. Here's the kick and the offering, and that runs in, gets him again. You make it 2 guys in now, and 2 men on with nobody away. Game time temp here today, 51 degrees. You never know, that can always affect a pitcher in his cold, cold hand. You saw from Tyler Zack yesterday, was blowing heat into that right fist all throughout the ball game. Not sure if I've seen it so far from Cole Klein, but now he's in a jam. And a 2-1 score. Here's the pitch. This one sent over to the third baseman, Sam Luther. He's going to beat number 9 there to third base, making the force out happen for out number 1. And it's still going to be 2 guys on at first and second, but there you go. There's out number 1. Big first out for Shaker. Or excuse me, second out. No, that's the first out. Game Changer trying to throw me for a loop now. Said they got a double play. That's just not the case at all. 2 men on, 1 away. This one grounded over to O'Shea Howard. Trying to flip this one over to second. He does. Brett Moore unable to turn 2 as the flip to Brett Moore just came a bit too late to make it happen. So now it'll be runners at the corners with 2 away. Klein looking to come out of this inning with a 0 on the scoreboard here for the second inning. 1 run did come across in the top of inning number 1. Here's the next kick and pitch. This one grounded over past Sam Luther. Thought Brett Moore was maybe going to take that play. He does not, and we're evened up in a 2-2 score. 2 away, 2 men on, 1 in scoring position, and now a tied ball game. Cole Klein on the mound with his next pitch to Alexander, who's 0 for 1 so far. Here's the pitch. This one sent over to his left side as that one's hit behind the cages, behind home plate. Lewis is now the batter. He's 1 for 1. Excuse me. That next one off the mark, a ball. Here's the 1-1 offering, runs in and gets him. Again, Klein in his last outing didn't hit anyone with a pitch, now already 4 times. Almost has as many outs as he does hit by pitch. 4 to 5 would be that. Now we've already gotten a mound visit from head coach Stephen English. Bases loaded, 2 away. Same kind of position we saw in the top of the first, but now here we are in the top of the second. It looks like actually rugby practice is still going behind us. Men's and women's practicing together. And then the women's lacrosse team over on the other side of midfield. So they've just split the Russell H. Rupp's field to make do for 2 different practices. Mound visit concludes. Everyone disperses to their original position. Here's the next pitch of a new at-bat. Swing and a miss. Good way to get us back into it. Mayfield 7-10 on the year. Shaker 8-8, trying to get their first winning record of the year. There, a big swing and miss once again. 0-2 goes the count, and he's 1 strike away from keeping this one a tied score, as his offense would then be up next. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss, drop, 3rd strike. And there is a big strikeout from Cole Klein on 41 pitches. We're through 2 now. He's given up 1 in each of his first 2 innings. Hopefully he can slow down that Mayfield production moving forward. But he's got 2 big strikeouts when he needed them most. Given up 3 hits. No walks so far, but he's hit 4 guys. So let's just see if that's cleaned up as we move forward. However, still a tied game. Shaker, however, with 1 more opportunity on offense, 3 more outs to work with compared to Mayfield. Let's see what they can do now in the bottom of the second. 2-2 your score. We're tied here at the Shaker Heights High School baseball field. Here we are for the bottom of the second due up. It's going to be the bottom of the order, the 7, 8, 9 guys. First pitch to Brett Moore off the mark. Or excuse me, it was in there. Strike number 1. Brett Moore, the shortstop in today's game, is followed by Luther and Fogarty behind him. Here's the next pitch. That one off the mark. And you can hear it in that dugout whenever it's a ball. Same thing as yesterday. You can hear Connor Adams, really the heart of this Shaker Heights team, just be screaming, "Oh!" like right after a ball is off the mark. That one, Rainbows. No, never mind. Ball 2. Brett Moore, currently batting .233. The production has slowed a little bit for him. That one in there, strike 2. 2-2 the count to Brett Moore. Earlier in the season on April 7th, so just about 2 weeks ago, he was hitting .364. That throw on the money for out number 1. So Brett Moore continues to struggle at the plate, but nothing he couldn't work out of. Still, .233 tends to be better than a lot of the hitters for Shaker. Shaker currently striking out in 32.5% of their plate appearances. Or their at-bats, actually. In their plate appearances, it's more down around the 20-25 mark. That one in there for strike number 1 to Sam Luther. Luther, the junior, over at third here today. Argy now to 28 pitches. Here's the 29th upstairs. And you can hear it from Connor Adams. There you go. Not sure if you can exactly hear it from all the way out here in a closed microphone as well. However, we can all hear it, even through this headset. That one runs in, gets Sam Luther. Already our 5th guy hit by a pitch so far. 4 from Cole Klein. And now 1 Shaker batter has been hit as well. 1 man on, 1 man out. That's going to bring up Andrew Fogarty. Fogarty, number 4, still hitless on the campaign, looking for something here. Had 18 plate appearances, 4 have been walks. He's just looking to make some good contact in foul territory and not just draw a walk. Of course, drawing a walk, never a bad thing, but you just are really, at this point in the 17th game of the season, you're aching for a base knock. 1 strike now to him as that one was fouled over to the left side over the dugout of Shaker Heights. Here's the next pitch. This one grounded over to the right side, over to the Mayfield dugout. So make sure he's getting even between both sides. 2 strikes now to Andrew Fogarty. No 2 count. Rather important to mention, he's struck out 7 times so far this season, which is not as much as a lot of others on this team. However, just something to note here, as now he's in the 2-strike count. Leading off of first, it's Sam Luther. Here's the 2-strike pitch off the mark, ball 1. That's good patience from the senior. That's what experience is going to get you. Here's Argy's 34th. Cut on, missed. Fogarty goes down. Still hitless on the campaign. Hopefully going to clean that up here today and get his first. However, that time, not it. It's going to be 2 outs now as we head back to the top of the order in O'Shea Howard. Howard, number 2 on the back of that red jersey. Shaker with only their 2nd time here in those red New Jerseys. They've been on the road a lot. We're going to be seeing a lot of home games, I do believe, near the end of this season, including today. That first one was fouled back into the backstop, so we got an 0-1 count to Howard. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just missing off the plate. Again, something we mentioned yesterday, no matter what the umpire is going to call, because all umpires have a different kind of strike zone, it's about how you're going to adapt to that strike zone. That one is in there, so let's see how O'Shea Howard takes that. It's a 1-2 count. And I'm not saying that controversial or surprising calls can't happen. I'm just saying that the batters, the best of batters, can adjust to a different kind of strike zone than what they're used to. That one off the mark. That throw from the catcher. Oh, my goodness. Almost landed in the grass. Way over the head. Almost touched the sun on its peak. And, yeah, Sam Luther easily in on the steal of second. So it was ball 2. 2-2, the count with 2 away and a 2-2 score. A man on base, number 2. A lot of 2s. There you go. However, I believe that one missed the mark for ball 3. But now here's the pitch, unless... Yes, that was ball 3. Here's the pitch. And in there, right down the middle. He gets him with strike number 3, and O'Shea Howard goes down once again. So, through 2-2 is your score, and Shaker's Cole Klein returns to the mound. We've seen a lot of pitches thrown from it through the first 2 top of the 2 innings. We'll see if he can get through a quick top of the 3rd here. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum, here with the call from sunny Shaker Heights. Still chilly, but sunny here in Shaker Heights High School territory. And we're back for the start of inning number 3. Shaker Heights tied with the Mayfield Wildcats. 2-2, currently your score. Here's the first pitch of the new inning upstairs for ball 1. Klein so far now to 42 pitches, 24 hitting the strike zone. All the others off target. That one in there, strike 1. We're evened up in the count, 1-1. 2-2 your score in the top of the 3rd. Nobody out as we're just getting set in that top of the 3rd. Here's the pitch. This one's skied and foul over to the left side. I believe we're currently getting maintenance from the Shaker scoreboard as head coach Stephen English currently working the power box behind it. That pitch way over the head of Quentin Garnett. No one on base, so it won't matter too much except for it being ball number 2. 2-2, we're evened up in the score and the count. Cole Klein with now the right leg kick and the pitch. Ooh, just off the plate. Ball 3, we work our way to a full count. And we continue to get that maintenance over on that scoreboard. Not exactly sure what the matter is, if it's just not working, if it's glitching. We're technically behind the scoreboard. There's ball number 4 from Klein. So the first man up is the first man on. Here in the top of the inning, so far in those first 2 innings, Klein split those 2 runs for Mayfield, 1 apiece. And hopefully that's not going to continue moving forward. At that rate, you're going to see it as a 9-run game for Mayfield. This one, a bunt attempt. It's going to make its way over to first. Klein handled it well. We saw him in that Gilmore Academy game against the Lancers. Slipped and fell on the turf, but recovered, making the throw on to first. He got out of a jam that time around. But in this case, it's just going to be out number 1. So a runner in scoring position here in the top of the 3rd with 1 away. Halatzos the batter. That one going for strike number 1 on the swing and miss. .49 pitches now for Klein. Here comes the 50th of his outing. And this one's skied over to right field. Fogarty calling off anyone in the area, making the grab. Sends this one over to the 3rd baseman Luther. However, it's cut off by Brett Moore over at short. So that's just going to go as out number 2. And it's going to be the runner Dominic Prince, still off of second. So far, no real base running mistakes to this point. There's strike number 1 in there. So far, a bit of crazy pitching, though. Not an excessively poor outing from either of these guys. However, it's just been 4 guys have been hit by a pitch so far from Klein. Already up to 52 pitches now, as that one was fouled behind him. Already facing 17 batters here with Halatzos, the catcher. Here's the pitch. That one just missing the mark for ball 1. 1-2 now, the count, 2 away with a runner on second. Klein remains in there as the pitcher. If he lasts this inning, he already would have gone as long as Fogarty did pitching the last game. Here's Sam Luther making the throw across the diamond in time. There's out number 3. Stephen English has finished up with the scoreboard. He'll make his way out. And that is the top of inning number 3 as we get the maintenance on the scoreboard. So, Shaker Heights still tied in a deadlock 2-2 against the Mayfield Wildcats. And let's see what Shaker's offense can do now as they come up to the plate. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. I'll be back with the call at the bottom of the inning. And here we are for the bottom of the 3rd inning. So far, we're tied 3-3, and the hits really haven't been too different either. 2-3 in that department. Mayfield with the 3, Shaker with the 2, and only 1 defensive error per side so far. Here's the first pitch of a new inning. Quentin Garnett, the batter, that one off the plate for ball number 1. In last year's meeting, only 2 extra base hits came in the game. This one skied over to right field. The right fielder ranging back, making the running grab. Oh no, never mind. It was dropped over the shoulder. So Garnett in there with the double. So Garnett now 1 for 2. He reached an error his last time up. And now he's going to get a pinch runner in the form of Nemo Crosby. Crosby taking his lead, number 13 on the back of the jersey, out of the lineup here today. I believe he was in the lineup yesterday against the Tigers. That one down low as the new batters Will Taken. Taken got the RBI last time around. He also came in to score as well, so he's really contributed to those 2 runs up on the board for Shaker. course, it hasn't been enough to take the lead now. And Tegan lines it in the same direction. In left center, that's going to score. Nemo Crosby as he rounds third. He's in to score. Tegan this time going to hold up at first. And there you go. Shaker takes that lead right back, and thank you, Will Tegan, for contributing on all three of the runs so far. Will Berglund, the next man due up. Got some power behind the bat. Let's see what he can do this time around. Tegan now 2 for 2 with a single and a double. Halfway there, if you know what I mean. There's the cycle you always want to take into account. You rarely ever see that in high school ball, but you know, you rarely ever see an immaculate inning in pitching, and yet yesterday we saw it from a freshman. You never know what can happen in high school ball. We also were so close to seeing a perfect game happen just a couple weeks ago against Menor, as it was Nick Square almost pitching that perfect game for Menor. That one, a hot shot right into the glove of the third baseman. The throw going to get away from the first baseman once again. Will Tegan advancing to second, and that third baseman is not having a day to remember. Alrighty, 2 errors to him as that throw got away from Dominic Prince again. Those throws across the diamond, you know they're hard, but if that's your specific position, which I believe Alexander has had that position all throughout the season, this has just not been a day for him. Now 1 man in scoring position for Will Berglund. That pitch in there, strike number 1. 0-1 the count to Berglund, wearing number 19 on the back of the jersey. Here's the pitch. This one fouled back into the caging. 2 strikes on him now. No balls just yet. I believe men's rugby has just about finished up their practice along with women's rugby. So we'll see if that women's lacrosse squad is going to move throughout the whole field. This one sent over to the left side and foul. Berglund, his last time up, got a hit, got an RBI. I believe it was a double once again. I think it was 3 straight doubles for Shaker. Or actually, excuse me, it was 2 straight doubles for Shaker, but Quentin Garnett reached second on that first error from Alexander. 3-2 is your score. That pitch in there, strike 3. So Berglund is down on strikes, and here comes the other guy that also went down on strikes his last time up. Braden White 0 for 1. Landever would be the next man due up. Taken off of second, here's the first pitch to White down low. It'll get away from Halatzos behind home plate. Again, Shaker, they've been winning a lot more than the beginning of the year. That North Royalton game really woke up this team. A lot of tension on that team at that point. That pitch rainbowed upstairs. Forward ball 2. But it was really a harsh wake-up call to this Shaker squad. 28-6 was that final. 2 home runs from Shaker. Normally, that's always a winning recipe in high school baseball. A rare occurrence when you get 2 long balls. But Shaker lost that one by 22 runs, and so he ended up getting the mercy rule through 5 innings. And so Shaker players met. They had a players-only meeting. That one upstairs, ball 4 to Braden White, and he'll take his spot over at first. Unless, excuse me, that was Nate Landever. as Braden White struck out his last time up. 2 strikeouts now to him. This one down low. Brett Moore now the batter, 0 for 1. But as I was mentioning, that North Royalton game, 22 runs the deficit. And that was a very winnable game for Shaker. That went in tight and up high, but still ruled strike number 1. 1-1 the count. At least I can assume that's what Brett Moore was thinking on taking that last pitch. Taken off of second, Landever off of first. Here's the next one. Lined into right field. That's going to get down a base hit. Landever rounding third. Tagan rounding third. Excuse me. Landever was rounding second as I said that. Brett Moore with the RBI double is in there to score the 4th run of the ball game for Shaker Heights. Big RBI knock for Brett Moore. And it moves 2 guys into scoring position now while upping the lead to 2. But Shaker, after the North Royalton loss, they also had that game followed up by a 3-0 loss where they almost were pitched against with a perfect game. Only 2 outs away, and then Quentin Garnett lined one up the middle. Just barely missing that perfect game was Nick Square, the Menor pitcher. That one upstairs on Sam Luther, the batter. But, yeah, that was really, really close. And then right after that, 4 straight wins, one of them coming to Menor. This one sent over to the right side, grabbed by the second baseman with the out, and that will hold the damage to 2 runs for Shaker. 2 runs for Shaker came across in the first, 2 in the third, and their lead is 2 as they're up 4-2. So, Shaker's Cole Klein will return to the mound here. So far, he's pitched 54. We'll give you more of his statistics when we come back. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are through 3 innings, and we'll be back for the call of the middle inning. We'll be right back for the 4th. First pitch of inning number 4. Was off the mark for ball 1. This one grounded right to Will Berglund, and he'll just tap on first for a quick out number 1. 2 pitches, 1 away will get us started for the middle inning. We can hear the yell of "Yeah, Berg" from the Shaker dugout. Getting that praise is Will Berglund over at first. 1 away, 4-2 your score. Shaker Heights leading it at home once again. Shaker actually yet to lose at home. They're looking to keep that streak alive with 1 here against Mayfield, who they lost by 7 last year. Here's the slow kick and the high pitch up there and missing the mark. So far with pitching, it's been a little bit shaky for both sides. That one off the mark once again. Cole Klein trying to get his second win of hopefully what will be many of a good season. Here's the next one on its way. That one in tight and almost hit him. That would have been the fifth guy hit by a pitch, but so far it's still only 4. Cole Klein, again, as mentioned, trying to get that second win. He's only pitched one start getting the win. That one down low, ball 4. So he's walked his first guy of the, or actually that's his second guy of the day. Still one away, but now one man on. You know, on this day in history, 1904, we actually saw Yankees pitcher Jack Chesbro record his first out of a historic season. That one in there. Strike number 1. It was a historic season. He got 41 wins, which is still a standing AL record. The American League teams have still not beaten that record. No pitchers yet have beaten that record. And today, on this day in 04, we got that first of what would be 41 victories for him on the mound. Next pitch from Cole Klein, not on its way as it makes its way to first. That's going to be the pickoff attempt that brings in Cope safely back to first. One away, one man on, and a 4-2 ball game. That pitch in there, strike 2. 1-2 the count. Almost halfway through this ball game, that pitch upstairs, making a 2-2 count. Klein out of 64 pitches, his 65th is set to be on its way in a moment. We'll see who their relief guy is. Eli Stolfus up in the bullpen, so we can assume that's their guy. They're a big swing and miss. That's going to be Cole Klein's third strikeout now, and a big strikeout for him there as there's one man on, now 2 away in the top of the 4th. Klein trying to preserve that 2-run lead right here. Here's the kick and the pitch of a new AB off the mark. As mentioned, Klein in his first outing left it with a 5.25 ERA after his last game. Left it with a 1.68 ERA. He's really cleaned it up after that great Gilmore performance on the road, only allowing 4 hits in that win and only allowing 1 to come across. That second one in tight for ball 2. 2-0 the count, that next one. And that's going to make its way on the bottom half for strike number 1. 2-1 the count now. Lewis 1 for 1 on the day, looking to go 2 for 2 and move that runner across. But that pitch missing, and Garnett going to need to head to the backstop, and Cope going to advance into scoring position now. So it's an RBI opportunity now for Lewis. 3-1 the count. You're at the Shaker Heights High School. Shaker with only their 4th home game of the season. They took on Euclid. They took on Menor. This one fouled over to the right side. Everyone watch your car. And they just recently took on Normandy. As mentioned previously in the broadcast, it was a 9-inning, 1-run victory. They came back by a deficit of 7 runs. Quentin Garnett really struggled on the mound. Here he's catching the balls and strikes, and there he catches a ball. That's ball 4. Klein now, much more shaky outing for him than that Gilmore performance. Already up to 71 pitches. Be shocked if he went the full game now. That one in there, strike 1. Pinzone the batter. Number 8, 0 for 2 on the day. And next one will rainbow its way in once again, in tight, but ruled a strike. And that's just what this umpire has been calling all game long. And if that's just his strike zone, you got to accept that. As a batter, you need to adapt. 2 men on, 2 men out. Here's the 0-2. Sent over to Brett Moore. Will he take the force over at second? He can't now. He bobbles it. And that's going to move the bases loaded. And that will more than likely be ruled as the second error for Shaker. Just a mistake. Wasn't able to scoop it. He had that force out over at second if he was able to make it. However, now we will stick with this inning. A hot shot over to Andrew Fogarty, right to him, into the glove. Just had to take a couple steps back, and there it was in front of him. So a much-needed third out leaves the bases loaded. Shaker will keep their lead at 2. 4-2 is your score as we are halfway through this one. Bottom of the fourth coming your way. My name is Vaughn Ullum, here with the call under the sun and the blue skies now of Shaker Heights High School. We're getting base maintenance right now. The second base is currently surrounded by head coach Stephen English, and now just making his way out of the dugout was assistant coach Joe Welsh. By the way, shout out to assistant coach Joe Welsh. Helped me out, hooked me up with these mid-inning snacks that we've got going. We got the Airhead Extremes and going out here in left center field. So shout out to him for that. However, right now, not exactly sure what the matter is, and well, we don't have supervision. Not sure I'm going to be able to tell you what's going on. All we know is something's the matter out at the second base. And now the coaches leave it. The second baseman and shortstop in green jerseys, kicking dirt on it now. Just over on the sides. All right, now it looks like we're set for the bottom of the fourth. We're halfway through this one. Andrew Fogarty 0 for 1. Now the left-handed batter is up to cap off the lineup. Here it is, and off the mark and down low. Fogarty now 0 for 14 on the season, or excuse me, now 0 for 15 on the season, if we're including today. This pitch, once again, off the plate. Fogarty really aching for that first hit on the campaign. He's walked 4 times, so his on-base percentage is .222. But if you're Fogarty, gotta think that he's looking for that hit. However, so far from Argy, hasn't thrown a single pitch that's hittable. 3 balls, no strikes now to Fogarty. Here's the next one. Upstairs, ball 4. So Fogarty will up the OBP. Still not hitless, but he will most definitely take the walk. So Fogarty stands off of first after the leadoff man gets on. O'Shea Howard, representing the top of the order in the leadoff position, is going to be the next man due up. Behind him would be Quentin Garnett. Howard struck out his first time up. That last time out would just, I believe, be a ground out or a pop out. That one down low. Ball 1. 4-2 your score. Shaker Heights leading. And Will Tagan has had himself a day. He might get his opportunity once again here in the 4th inning. He's already 2 for 2, 2 runs with 2 RBI. That one in there for strike number 1. Here's the 1-1 to O'Shea Howard, and that one's right down Main Street. 2 strikes now to Howard. Howard, as mentioned, entering into today with the batting average up at .294, which has continued to increase more and more and more as the season has progressed. This one, oh, right off the glove of the third baseman. Alexander has not had a day. 2 errors, and now that time a hit off of his glove makes its way into shallow left field, and that's going to move Fogarty into scoring position, and Howard will now occupy first. Let's see how they roll that one. Already 4 errors for Mayfield. And we're awaiting that box score to shift at least a little bit. We'll either see an increase in hits for Shaker or an increase in errors for Mayfield. Mayfield, over their last 6 games, have had 2 errors in each of them at least. That pitch going to get away. Fogarty stealing third, and Howard moving up as well the second. And it looks as though they're going to roll that one an error on Mayfield. Off the glove, I suppose. You'd rule that one an error. Just got off of it. Made its way into shallow left field. This one popped into right field. This will bring home a run. There's the out. Fogarty advancing to home, and O'Shea Howard moving to third. That's your first out, but the lead increases by 1. 5-2 now your score. And Garnett did his job. He brought home a run. Got to be satisfied with the RBI there. Now it looks like we're going to get a mound visit. And it looks like we're going to get a pitching change. Looks like the right fielder is going to move his way in. That right fielder, number 16. And we'll see what he has to offer on the mound. 5-2, your score. Shaker leading with a man on third and only one out in the bottom of the fourth. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's pretty chilly up here in the stands of the Russell H. Rupp Field. However, we're barely halfway through this one. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call. Warm-up pitches will be coming your way. And then after that, I'll be right back. We're back here for the bottom of the fourth inning. New pitcher in there, number 8. Not sure I have a name for you. All I know, number 8. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, and that's what we saw a lot from the warm-up pitches. He's pitching high. And that next one misses as well. 2-0 the count to Will Tagan. Tagan 2 for 2 already with a single and a double. Let's see what he can do here. O'Shea Howard on third. It's already a 3-run deficit. That one in there, strike number 1. 2-1 the count. Here in the bottom of the fourth, Shaker has already driven home 1 run. That pitch gonna get away from home plate. O'Shea Howard will make his way forward 90 feet, and he is in to score the 6th run for Shaker Heights. Shaker now up by 4 here at home. Again, looking to extend that home win streak all the way up to 4 and keep winless, or excuse me, lossless, undefeated here at home. That's what I'm looking for. 3 balls, 1 strike taken. Or excuse me, now 2 strikes with 1 out. Here's the payoff pitch, and oh, yep. If he had taken a hack at that one, would have been concerned. So now he's been a base runner 3 times in this one. A walk, a single, and a double. All in reverse order, actually. He started it with the double, then the single. Now here he is after the 4 balls to him. Will Berglund now the next man up. 1 for 2. on the day so far. Got a double in his first time up. That next pitch, and this guy in relief is off to a rough start. That one missing badly for ball one. That's now 7 pitches already. Only he's worked through one guy and thrown one to the other. We'll see what Berglund can do, but so far, he's just waiting for something to hit. That one down low. Here in the bottom of the fourth, Shaker now up by 4. We'll see if Tegan decides to steal. We know he's got it in him. That one in there for strike 1. 2-1 the count, 1 away. Will Berglund, number 19 on the back of that red, lovely looking New Jersey. In there standing. A little bit off the mark. We also saw that really bad throw from the catcher earlier. Almost lifted its way all the way into the grass. Way over the head of the middle infielder making the play on second. Here, a swing and missed, and Berglund thought it was a drop third strike. Made his motion over to first, however, that was just an easy strikeout for number 8. Braden White is the next man up. Struck out twice so far, the only one to do that in the ballgame. And the first pitch to the designated hitter misses the mark, ball 1. And Connor Adams back to it with the ball's thrown. Yelling, oh, whenever that pitch misses the mark. Taken off of second, looking for a good RBI knock here from Braden White, but this one grounded right to the shortstop, and the throw on the first is on target and on time. So, Shaker winning this one 6-2. And so, Shaker winning this one 6-2, currently out hitting Mayfield only 4-3. Shaker has walked 3 times, but they've been hit by a pitch once as well. So, Shaker's base runners haven't really been limited whatsoever. They only struck out 5 times, twice from Braden White. And Cole Klein, I believe, is back on the mound, or actually, looks like we got a new guy in the form of Eli Stolfus. And yes, that is the case. And he has pitched really well all throughout the season, so it'll be fun to see the sophomore back in action. But so far, Shaker in red, Mayfield in green. Shaker has really just gotten the better of this Mayfield pitching, which is very different from what it was last year. It's chilly, so maybe that will affect the Mayfield pitching, but really, if this is Northeast Ohio, you should be used to what you got in front of you. Shaker up 6-2. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn. I'm here with the call. We'll send you right back down as Eli Stolfus takes his warm-up pitches. As mentioned, Eli Stolfus is the new man to the mound. Number 14 on the back of the red jersey. Here's the first pitch, cut on, sent down the third baseline and foul. Eli Stolfus currently entering into today with an ERA of 3.6. He's pitched really well over his last relief performances. That one sent over to the third base side once again, off of the bullpen caging, and foul. Stolfus, more of a contact guy. He's allowed at least one hit. Actually, he's allowed exactly one hit in each of his last 3 outings. I was against Twinsburg, Normandy, and then Brunswick. And yeah, again, pitched really well. He's only, in his 9.2 innings, he's only given up 5 earned runs. This one skied into center field. Will Tagan calling everyone off, making the grab with the left glove. And that's 1 out already for Eli Stolfus. That batter number 9 is down. And now let's see what we got next. It's going to be Hilatzos, number 17, 0 for 1 so far on the day. Hasn't walked, but he was hit by a pitch earlier in this one. That first pitch to him was off the mark for ball 1. Again, a much chillier one. The sun's starting to go down a little bit as well, so that's making a bit of a difference. The first game time temp, that one cut on and missed. The first game time temp was 51. Now it's 50. It's not much of a difference, but feels like 48 out here specifically. This one, skied up. Let's see where this one's going to be played. The first baseman, Will Berglund, makes the grab as O'Shea Howard collapses behind him as he's called off last second. There's out number 2. Now 2 away. You can hear Fogarty calling it out in right field. We'll take it and land ever. The other 2 outfielders there. A big swing and miss from Fewer. Stolfus really has entered into a groove out on the mound. He's really become one of the designated relief guys for Shaker. You can see Sam Luther in relief as well. You can see a couple different guys in relief, but this has really been taken over by this sophomore Stolfus. It started out as just to see what he had against Euclid, where he pitched 2 innings, and he pitched them well, only giving up 1 run in those, 1 hit in those 2 innings. And they said, okay, let's try to do this again. And so they pitched him against North Royalton. Everyone, again, they lost by 22 against North Royalton. So really everyone struggled against North Royalton. But they were still liking what they saw, so they put him in against Menor. They're a big swing and miss, strike 3. And from then on, they've liked what they've seen. And there you go, they're still liking what they see with a big K there. Shaker still up by 4 after the top of the 5th. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 5th. My name is Vaughn Ullum with the call. And we're back for the bottom of inning number 5. Nate Landever due up. First pitch to him in there, strike 1. Behind Nate Landever, you're going to find Brett Moore and Sam Luther, two infielders behind the outfielder. Here in the batting order, it looks like we've got a scrimmage now behind us between the women's lacrosse team against the women's lacrosse team. Here's the next pitch to Nate Landever. Down low. Did he go around? Looks as though he did not. Ball one. And Shaker liking that call. Here's the next pitch, Landever. Oh, took it. Thought maybe it was a bit inside, but it's going to go for strike number 2. 1-2 the count. Nobody out as we're just getting set for the bottom of the 5th inning now. 4 runs to the current deficit. This one fouled over the left side. Down the third baseline, and still it's going to be out of play. That third baseman over there, Alexander, has not had a great game. He's had now 3 errors on the day, 1 off of the glove on his left hand, and the other 2 were just really off-target throws over at first. Here's the next pitch. Down low, ball 2. 2-2 the count. Nobody out just yet. Landever currently 0 for 1 so far. He walked his last time up. And now, here's the 2-2 off the plate. So, number 8, the pitcher, really has struggled so far. Now already, this is going to be his 20th pitch of the outing. Here's the kick, the toss, and it runs in and it'll get Landever. So he misses for ball 4, but more than that, he's going to nail him. And so that's going to bring Brett Moore to the plate. Shaker up by 4, looking for more. Because in baseball, it seems like you could never have enough insurance runs. Here's the kick, the first pitch to Brett Moore in there for strike 1. And that one also missing the mark. Surprised we haven't gotten a mound visit over to number 8 on the mound. He's been struggling. But I suppose Mayfield, they also not exactly knowledgeable of that situation. They may not have any other options. There's the pickoff attempt. Landever back in safely. So far, no long balls. We'll see if that changes. Brett Moore, not exactly a long ball guy, but that one down low. He'll take another ball. Again, we saw 2 long balls yesterday. If you're a Guardians fan who actually saw in their game that went at 1 o'clock, that one an easy ground out over to first, handled by Prince. Or excuse me, was that one ruled foul? Not exactly. What just happened? There's the... What the heck just happened? Landever made his move back to first. Maybe he thought it was foul. Head coach Joe Welsh had his hands out in front of him, signaling what's going on here. Not sure if that was to Landever or to whatever was happening out in the infield. However, it's going to be, I guess, a double play. And with Sam Luther now, there's going to be 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. What happened there? Not exactly sure. I'm going to get a good answer to give you the correct information. This one skied over to right, and that's going to be foul off to the right side. Toss back from the catcher, gets away from the pitcher, so good work from Fior. to send it right back to the pitcher. This one's skied over to right field, and the right fielder under it. And that's going to be out number 3. So an odd little double play, I suppose, is what happened there. And unfortunately, Shaker had base runners, but it all went away. Sam Luther's fly out will bring us to the top of inning number 6. Shaker's still winning by 4, and we'll tell you all about it in the final 2 innings as Stolfus returns to the mound. Let's see if he can keep it cooking here in the second to last inning of the ball game. And thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Olam here with the call. Shaker back to it here in the the top of the 6th inning. Eli Stolfus back on the mound. This one started at 4:30, still yet to finish. Over for the softball team, Shaker actually already beat Euclid in 4 innings after getting 6 runs to come in the 3rd and 8 to come in the 4th. I guess Euclid may have just had enough. It's rare that you'll see a game end in 4 innings. However, actually Shaker saw it against Euclid as well here at home. Not one missing the mark. It's going to be ball 1, 1-1 the count. Nobody out just yet as we're just getting started in the top of the 6th inning. Monastero, the batter, 1 for 3 on the day. Here's the next pitch to him. Cut on, sent back into the caging behind home plate. Another athletic event taking place. I believe Shaker men's volleyball's varsity squad gets set at 6 o'clock tonight. So actually that already would have gotten started. This one skied up into the air. Brett Moore ranging in, making the grab just behind the grass of the infield. And that's going to be out number 1. So a lot of athletics going on, and it seems like it's all going down at different times. Again, the Guardians started off with a day game here on the weekday Thursday. It's just a rare occurrence, but we saw it here today. Again, Shaker varsity baseball got started at 4:30. That pitch ran in and got the batter, and Cope will take his spot over at first. Softball was at 5 o'clock, and then varsity men's volleyball was at 6. And if you're a basketball fan, why stop there? The Cavs play their 3rd game of the playoffs at 7. And if you're a hockey fan of any NHL team, specifically one of the teams that got in to the postseason, you might have a game tonight as well if you're a fan of that. Seems like we got a little bit of everything at this time of the year. That one off the mark. Ball 1 to Alexander, who's had a rough day defensively, but he's 1 for 3 at the plate. Again, currently a little bit windy up here at the elevated position, but not exactly the coldest day, just a little bit chilly. That one cut on, sent over to Brett Moore at short. Can't handle it originally, and he loses it. Right in front of him, just not able to keep it there. And so, 1 out and 2 men on. And that's another error on Shaker. Another error on Brett Moore in specific. Brett Moore, I believe, currently leads the team in errors, and yes, that is correct. He's up to 8. Berglund right behind him over at 7. But yeah, Brett Moore now to double digits with the 2 errors on the day. That one low and away. Lewis is 1 for 1 on the day. He's the batter in the 4 spot. He's walked once. He's also been hit by a pitch. But now he's in an RBI spot. Let's see what Stolfus can do here. Here's the pitch down low. Again, Shaker Heights tomorrow taking on North Allegheny in Pennsylvania. Be sure to tune in, as I'm sure a lot of fans won't be in attendance for Shaker yet. You can catch that all right here on Shaker Heights Athletics. I'll be broadcasting that one. It should be about a 106-minute drive, so if you're willing to take that drive, that'd be pretty nice. It should be a nice day as well. That throw getting away from Berglund, but the lead runner will stick over at third. So it's going to be bases loaded with 1 out. Shaker was able to turn 2 yesterday. They have the opportunity here to do so again. But with those infield errors that have been proving costly lately, it just still seems a bit unlikely. I also forgot to mention, if you're a football fan, why not watch the draft tonight as well? But if you're a Cleveland football fan only, yeah, that's a whole ordeal. No first-round picks for you tonight. That one in there, strike 1. Pinzone, the batter, 0 for 3. That first one took strike looking. And now here's the 0-1. Cut on, and it's going to get away from Quentin Garnett, and that's going to score a run. So Stolfus lets one come across. Good heads-up base running from Cope, and he comes in to score. Alexander from second to third. Lewis from first to second, so still 2 guys in scoring position in a 3-run deficit now. One swing of the bat could tie this one up if you're Pinzone. You got to be thinking, however, that just 1 hit can bring home 2. You can get it all back at once. That's just not the most likely option. Here's the pitch, down low. Garnett keeping this one in front of him. Try to get him to chase down low. However, he held up, and that's going to be ball 1. Stolfus to 24. Here's the quarter of 100 mark. Set to make its way in just a moment. He steps off the mound here, stands up straight, gets the signal from Garnett, and now here's the motion, the offering. This one sent right back to the glove of Stolfus. He'll trade 1 out for 1 run Mayfield will gladly take. So they cut this deficit down in half here this inning. And now we're to a 2-run deficit. Shaker's still leading. Here's Stolfus' next. This one's skied up, and that's not going to be playable. It's over the caging behind home plate. Again, watch your car if you're parked behind home plate. Not exactly sure anyone ever has the confidence to park right by the baseball field. We saw it in Lake Catholic. We actually saw it yesterday in Cleveland Heights. One guy's car got hit. Hopefully nothing serious for that fan in attendance. That one off the plate. 1-1 the count. But yeah, the real issue was Lake Catholic in their parking lot. First time we went there, my sophomore year last year, we were told by some Lake Catholic fans in attendance, don't park as close as you can to the field. Whether it's chilly or not, it'll be worth it to take that chilly walk over than to have to pay an expensive amount for some car repairs as a baseball cracks it. That one in there. Strike 3. And so Stolfus on 30 pitches now has gotten through 2 innings. He let 2 come across here in the top of the 6th, but now only 3 more outs to work with for Mayfield's offense. Let's see. Shaker could use some insurance runs. Only up by 2. Let's see what happens next. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call. Let's see what Shaker's next move will be. Due up is Andrew Fogarty, O'Shea Howard, and Quentin Garnett. We'll tell you more about it when we come back. Fogarty, the right fielder for Shaker here today, is now due up. He's the 9th guy in the 9-man batting order. First pitch to him, cut on, missed. Fogarty, his last time, was able to draw a walk his first time up. However, he struck out. Hasn't sent one in play just yet. Let's see if that changes. Here's the pitch. That one just catching the bottom inside corner, strike 2. Due up behind Fogarty is going to be the top of the order, Howard and Garnett. Let's see what they can do after Fogarty's AB. Here's the 0-2, cut on, missed. 3-pitch strikeout for Pinzone. The next guy up for Shaker Heights. Or excuse me, for Mayfield and those Wildcats in relief. O'Shea Howard now 0 for 3. That pitch off the mark for ball 1. And actually, we want to mention on this day in history, just a really random on this day in history. This one grounded back foul over to the right side. It's a really random piece of history in baseball. On this day in 1976, you're going to maybe remember, some of you guys watching, in 1976, there a swing and miss from Howard, that Chicago Cubs center fielder Rick Monday actually saved the American flag from 2 trespassing protesters who tried to light it on fire in the outfield of Dodger Stadium. They're a good take from O'Shea Howard for ball 1. But as the 2 protesters were kneeling right beside that American flag to light it in center field, the center fielder Rick Monday, here's the next pitch, off the plate for another ball. Rick Monday He swooped in. You can look up this video. Look up Rick Monday flag, and you'll find that video and click on it. It's a really random, interesting, heroic moment. Rick Monday swoops in, snatches that one up, and sends it right to the dugout. There, a drop third strike, and so O'Shea Howard will walk his way to the dugout. But yeah, Rick Monday, center fielder for the Cubs in this day in 76. Heroic moment for him. And it's just something really interesting. And yeah, I encourage you to look up that video. MLB posted it back in 2016. That video of that moment. Really rather fascinating. Here's the pitch off the plate. Ball one to Quentin Garnett, who's currently 0 for 2. He reached on an error his first time up and ended up scoring off of that. He's also gotten an RBI from his last time as he sent one into right field. This time it'll sky its way into right center. However, the catch is made for out number 3. So Quentin Garnett will stay hitless on the day, 0 for 3 now, and that's going to take us to the top of the final inning, number 7. Eli Stolfus should be back up to the mound, and it looks like that is his strut as he makes his way to the mound. We'll tell you more about his inning when we come back. He's looking to preserve this 2-run lead. Can he do it? Well, the answer to that question will come in just a moment. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum, here with the call of this lovely, lovely ball game. Stolfus is 3 outs away from giving Shaker back-to-back wins once again. Now, here is the first pitch at the top of the 7th in their strike 1. Shaker had a 4-game streak just last week of only 1 error per game. But after that loss to Brunswick, and including that loss to Brunswick, their errors have been prominent once again. Here's the next pitch, cut on fouled back. And today, 4 errors for him. And actually, for Mayfield, in their last 6 games before today, they've had 2 errors in each of their last 6. But today, it's 5. A lot of errors here today, 9 in total. And if we're speaking of 9 errors, that pitch upstairs, actually 5 games ago for Mayfield, they had 9 errors in 1 game against Kenston. If you're the coach, must have had a field day calling him out for that one. There, a swing and a miss. Stolfus gets strike 3. Stolfus back to it. You'll love to see it. And now here's the next pitch of a new at-bat. Down low and away. Ball 1. Again, Stolfus entered into today with an ERA of, let me get you that exact number, 3.6. Here's the next pitch. And so that very well might increase after the 2 runs given up to Mayfield. Actually, hold that. It's actually 0 runs have been earned of the 2 he gave up last inning. So never mind, with this outing, it actually very well will decrease that number. 6-4 is your score. Shaker leads it. Here's the next pitch. Skied up over to the left side. Sam Luther under it in foul territory, and it drops in the fair territory. That'll probably be another error. Error number 5, and so now they're even with errors. And so, yeah, my goodness. The errors continue for Shaker Heights infielders. Out in the outfield, Shaker has seemed solid, specifically Will Tagan. I mean, he's had that center field spot for years now. Never, I don't believe, in any of my games I've called for Shaker baseball, have I not seen Will Tagan out there in center unless he's pitching. So 1 man on, 1 man out. Here's the pitch in there for a strike. The tying run is at home plate. Let's see what he can do. The batter number 23, the runner number 34. These are all pinch guys, so not exactly having names on them. This one lined into right center. Fogarty calling off Tagan. Fogarty sending this one in to Brett Moore, and it's going to be runners at the corners now with 1 away. So now actually the go-ahead run now is at home plate, and the tying run is over at first. Head coach Stephen English bringing in his infield and catcher Quentin Garnett, getting a mound visit as we speak. Not sure who would come in relief. If you're head coach Stephen English, you would probably want Wesley Lewis to come back in relief, but he's more than likely not in the dugout because he's typically over with the JV team. But yeah, yesterday, man, that was fun. He had that immaculate inning. 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts. And now Stolfus needs that kind of success. Now, of course, the immaculate inning is long gone. But to get these last 2 outs and win this ball game for Shaker, he just needs to slow this down. A double play is in order here. But again, the middle infielders and actually all infielders have really struggled here today. So it's just not exactly the most likely thing to happen. That one was fouled over to the right side. Strike 1. Number 2, the batter. Stolfus now to 40 pitches. Of his 40 pitches, 27 have hit the strike zone. The final stats for Klein is 75 pitches, 42 hitting the strike zone. His fatigue really set in late, and we saw that with all the walks that were given. He actually hit 4 batters as well, but that came more so early in the outing. Here's the pitch. This one's skied up, and Sam Luther is going to have to run into the fencing that time around as it is out of play. Again, if you're Sam Luther, really gonna feel that error, especially if number 34 comes across, which at this point very well might happen. However, it's an 0-2 count to number 2, the batter. There, it's foul off once again. We're going to do it again at no balls and 2 strikes and 1 away. Number 23 leads off of first for Mayfield. Number 34 leads off of third for Mayfield. Runners at the corners, 1 away in an 0-2 count. Stolfus leans forward, checks the runner over at first, now stands up straight. Hand in glove, here's the pitch. In there for strike 3. Didn't even need the call from the ump to know that that was the call I was making there. I mean, you could see that all the way from left center field, that was going to be strike number 3. So there you go. That brings up Cope, and he's got to cope with that one. Here's Cope, number 15, 0 for 2. Here's first pitch to him, and good pitches now from Stolfus. That's the thing you gotta like. When he has a strikeout, he really does take that momentum in. Leaning forward, checks the runner at first. Same thing you saw for that last strikeout. Here's the pitch. This one sent over to the right side. Is that going to get down fair? It doesn't look like it will be. That's foul. And so now 2 strikes, 1 strike away for Stolfus to put this one away. Go Shaker! Stolfus now with his 45th pitch, going to be making its way in a moment. Runners at the corners, 2 away, 0-2 count. In a 2-run ball game, here's the pitch. This one grounded over to the right side and foul. And it looks actually like we got a defensive substitution. A bit late to say it, but it is Casey Robinson now over at first. Just noticing that now. Berglund out, I suppose, for this one. Now, Shaker up by 2. Here's the pitch. This one sent over to the right side. Foul once again. We'll do it again at an 0-2 count. It's been a chilly one. Stolfus, 1 strike away. Runners at the corners. We'll say it all again. Shaker up by 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And off the mark. It's going to get away from Garnett. He trips in the dirt. And so now it's going to be 1 ball, 2 strikes. So close is Eli Stolfus. But he's just unable to put him away so far. Cope 0 for 2 on the day. Stolfus looking to preserve the 2-run lead. Here's the 1-2, the kick in the offering. This one sent over to the right side. And he is protecting. Holy cow. Cope on the day, I mentioned 0 for 2. He walked once. He came across to score as well. He's the go-ahead run. However, Stolfus still 1 strike away. The kick and the pitch. This one away. Cope holds up. And the runner advances over to second. And that was just an unfortunate play once again as Quentin Garnett sends this one over to second. Number 23 advanced to second, but it got away into shallow center. So number 34 made his way home. And so it's still 2 strikes to Cope. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one grounded over to O'Shea Howard. And it gets into shallow center. That's going to score the tying run. Wow. Another ball in the middle infield is going to get away. And we're tied up. Wow. 6-6 is your score. Here's the next pitch from Stolfus. This one's skied into left field. Is that going to get down in fair territory? It looks like it was foul. Whoa, that was close. Mere feet away from a home run. Woo-wee. Stolfus just needs to slow this down now. 6-6 is now the score. Shaker up to 7 errors on the day, all from the infield. Here's the kick and the pitch on 2 strikes. This one's skied into right field. That's going to get down and maybe, ground rule double. Oh, whoa. So that's going to hold the lead runner at third. And everyone take a breather. That was so close to scoring the go-ahead run. And now if you're actually that man that made the hit, you're wishing it didn't hop over the wall. This has gotten tense out of nowhere. He was 2 strikes away from this game concluding, but now we're at a tied game and 2 guys in scoring position. This pitch upstairs and inside, ball 1. All the practice behind us at the Russell H. Rupp Field has now concluded. It was packed in here earlier with practices from both rugby teams, the lacrosse team, and all track teams. Here's the kick in the pitch. Upstairs again, 2-0. And now completely quiet behind us. All eyes are in front as it's now a tied game here in the top of the final inning. 2 runs just coming across moments ago. Still 2 runners in scoring position. Here's this one. Launched into center field. Tegan under it, making the grab. And so, Shaker was so close to putting this one away, but Shaker still with 3 more outs in regulation to get something done. We're to the bottom of the 7th. 6-6 is your score. Let's see what Shaker can do here. 6-6 is the score. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call. Can Shaker walk this one off just like last time here at the Shaker Heights High School? Tegan, the first man due up, and that's just what you want to have up to walk it off. Tegan, 3 for 3 with getting on base. He's walked once. He's got a single. He's got a double. Let's see what he's got in him this time. Big swing and miss. Shaker now actually losing in hits, 5-4. And in errors, Shaker hasn't had this many errors in a minute. 7 errors for them now. This throw way off the mark. And it'll run into the backstop for ball 1. 6-6 currently your score. Shaker looking to walk this one off here at home. Eli Stolfus in his pitching has given up 4 runs, none of which have been earned still. This one's sent foul over to the left side. Going to hop over the head of head coach Stephen English, the third base coach for Shaker here today. Again, that first base coach, assistant coach, Joe Welsh. Here's the 1-2 to Will Tegan in tight for ball 2. 2-2 the count to Tegan, who's 2 for 2 on the day. 6-6 your score in the bottom of inning number 7. Stolfus was so close to closing this one out. 1 strike away. But, man, that batter was fighting. Fouling off pitch after pitch. And eventually, Mayfield was able to get those runs across. There's ball 3 off the mark. So we're going to have a full count with nobody out to Will Tegan. Getting Tegan on would be huge. Here's the payoff pitch. Cut on, fouled back. Just barely got the contact. Just off the tip of the bat. So we're going to do this one again at 3-2. Here's the pitch from pin zone. The payoff. Off the mark, ball 4. Big walk for Will Tagan. We know he could steal, and he can steal successfully. We'll see if he does that here. I would assume he would. Considering Berglund is the next man up, you would also want to do it as soon as possible. However, pin zone going to keep a close eye on him over at first. However, he's been pitching a little all over the place. The pitch can also get away from the catcher. That one, it was outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Berglund. Next offering, this one cut on, sent over the shortstop. Tagan going to be out over at second, and Berglund going to be the replacement runner over at first. Just a fielder's choice play there. 1 out now, as Berglund now stands on first. Next man up is Braden White. This would be an opportune time for a home run, just like yesterday. Twice he popped one over the wall. It was a tall wall over in left field. So his first one, he really had it elevated. And then that next one made its way into left center. Hot shot off the bat, and it just didn't have a lot of elevation. It just had a lot of distance and a lot of velo on it. That first one, strike one. 0-1 the count to Braden White, who could really use a good base knock here, as Berglund stands off of first. Here's the next pitch to the right-handed batter, and that one runs in and it's going to get him. Big hit by pitch that time, and that's going to move Berglund to second. So can Land ever do it again? His last time in this position, when he could walk off this game against Normandy, he did it in a 7-7 score in the 9th inning. Can he do it again? The sophomore played the hero last time. Here's the pitch to him, down low. 6-6 your score, 1-0 the count with 1 away. Landever 0 for 1 on the day. He's walked once, but he's been hit by a pitch as well. Berglund off of second. He's the winning run. This one sent into center field. Berglund going to have to stay put at second. Oof. That is a big out, number 2, if you're pin zone. Now you're going to need a hit. You're going to need a good hit, too. Brett Moore. Can he do it? He's the number 7 guy in the order. Currently 1 for 3 on the day. Berglund off of second, White off of first. And there, we got the motion over to second. No throw, so Berglund back in safely. Here's the next pitch off the plate for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Brett Moore. The sun's starting to go down now. Getting a little bit chillier, but not too bad, as it feels like the wind has slowed down a solid amount as well. Here's the next pitch from pin zone. Off the mark, Berglund going to take third. Big missed pitch, and now he's one wild pitch away from even bringing home a run here. That's what Berglund's really now got to watch out for. He's a big man, but if he needs to, he can have that big bolt of speed to make his way home. Let's see if it happens. 2-0 the count to Brett Moore. 1 for 3 on the day, looking for something here. Looking for something good to hit. More than likely not going to pull the trigger because pin zone, he's been pitching a little all over. Brett Moore can't get this one through the shortstop. The throw across on time and on target. That's going to be out number 3. And for the second straight home game here at Shaker Heights, we go to extras. 8th inning coming your way. Thank you very much for tuning in. 6-6 your score. And let's see who comes to the mound when we come back. Eli Stolfus is back out. He came in with a deficit of 4, but he's given up 4, none of which have been earned. Only one run has been earned, actually, for Mayfield. For Shaker, the same story. Only one earned run. There's been 12 errors in this game, 7 for Shaker, 5 for Mayfield. And so none of this has been Stolfus' fault. Here's the throw from Brett Moore as it's handled on the shortstop side. And there you go. There's out number 1. Good quick out for Stolfus to try and bounce back. Really can't have that pitcher rattled, especially here in the 7th inning. Really don't want that happening. Stolfus nearing the 60 pitch mark. That one sent right back to Brett Moore. Here's the throw about 90 feet away, and it's once again on time and on target. 2 away. 2 quick outs. My goodness, can he put 3 away on 3 pitches? Probably not, but you never know. 2 put away on 2 pitches. Here's the 3rd pitch. And wow, is this going to happen? There you go. 3 pitches put down 3 batters. Eli Stolfus with probably the most efficient inning. It's not an immaculate inning, but it's the lowest pitch count that you can have in an inning. There you go. 3 up, 3 down. Quickly, we're going to go to break, and Shaker will be back on offense. They did it in 9 innings last time. Let's see if they can only do it in 8 this time. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum, here with the call of extra innings in Shaker Heights. 6-6 your score. We just saw a really efficient inning from Eli Stolfus. 3 pitches, 3 up, 3 down. And so, It's still going to be pin zone on the mound for Mayfield. The first guy due up for Shaker is Sam Luther. Behind him at the bottom of the order, it's going to be C.J. Landrum actually replacing Fogarty. And then back to the top of the order in O'Shea Howard. Sam Luther, number 11, 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the next pitch, cut on missed. One and one the count. Here's the next kick and pitch from the lefty, and then he goes down once again. So pin zone really hasn't given him anything to hit. Sam Luther has swung at 2 down low off of the zone. And now here's the 1-2 down low. Thank goodness he didn't swing at that one. If he had at that one, we would have had really big problems. 2-2 the count. Sam Luther 0 for 2. Looking to be that first base runner of the inning. And there he goes down once again as he goes fishing under the zone. You can't get it all back at once. Actually, you technically can in this position. You can walk it off with a big bomb. But Sam Luther, more of a contact guy than anything. Now C.J. Landrum. First time he's been in the lineup today. First pitch to him. In there, strike 1. Landrum, number 2-5. More of a power guy. However, he can just get good contact. And that next pitch, down low and away. Landrum enters in with an average of .233. And so far, all of his 7 hits have been singles. So that's what you got to expect from him here. If he gets on, they're a ball. If he gets on, you're more than likely going to see a pinch runner. C.J. Landrum with his speed, well, that's the thing. There's a lack of speed. That one, called strike 2. Bit of a surprise that time around, but it'll even up our count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Tied ball game here in the extra innings, bottom of inning number 8. Here's the next offering from the left-handed pitcher. Down low. We got a countdown. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. 6-6 your score. Mayfield out hitting Shaker 5-4. If C.J. Landrum gets on, we'll probably see a pinch runner. Pin zone with his 38th on its way. Taken inside for ball 4. And we're already seeing Nemo Crosby making his way out of the dugout. And here he comes. Comically jogging his way across. He'll make his way over to first. O'Shea Howard is going to be the next guy up. Actually 0 for 4 on the day. He struck out twice. So he's just about due for a hit, considering that average is .294. Let's see what he's got in his back pocket. Nemo Crosby also able to steal second. Let's see if that's what's happening here. Here's the pickoff attempt. He's back in safely, head first. Pin zone up to 38 pitches. Of his 38 pitches, 19 have hit the strike zone, so he's splitting it, and now no more. More balls than strikes for him. So if you're the batter, O'Shea Howard, you got to wait for him to give you something to hit. Because a lot of what he's been laying in there seems to be right down the middle as well. Here's the 40th of the outing. That one down low. It's going to get away from him. Crosby's going to take second. Here's the dive. And actually gets away from the shortstop as well. However, it's not going to make its way into center. Or actually, excuse me, that's the second baseman. So, man in scoring position, that's the winning run. O'Shea Howard with the opportunity to walk this one off. Crosby taking a healthy lead off of second. Pin zone. Checks him off over at second. Here's the kick in the offering. O'Shea Howard takes this one inside. Oh, it got him. And that brings up the next man in the form of Quentin Garnett. Garnett on the day 0 for 3. He reached on an error his first time up. The time after that, he just got a typical out. Then after that, a sac fly in the right field. Got a mound visit, so Nemo Crosby talking things over with head coach Stephen English. O'Shea Howard over at first, talking things over with assistant coach Joe Welsh. Conversations concluded between English and Crosby. And now the mound visit has concluded. Garnett, the next batter hitting right, as mentioned, 0 for 3 on the day. Currently hitting .333, so he is due for a knock here. Pin zone to 41 pitches. This is going to be his 42nd of his outing. And here it comes. That one will catch the strike zone. Garnett thought that one was a bit in tight. The umpire says, nuh-uh. There is strike number 1. Pin zone number 8. He's gotten a little bit riled during his outing. You can see it in his pitching. There's the motion over to second. Crosby getting his jersey dirty as he dives back in head first. 6-6 your score. Here's the next pitch, Garnett. Same kind of swing we saw from Sam Luther, going down low. You don't want to look like you're trying to be the hero. Sure, you want to be the hero, but you can't go taking the swings like that. There, it'll be grounded right into the grass, and I think Garnett will be safe over at first. Bases loaded. 1 out. Crosby, the winning run on third now. That one just went perfectly in the infield. Just landed right in front of that grass. Or excuse me, right in front of that dirt of the infield. Between the shortstop and third baseman. And now this is where you want to be. Will Tagan, 2 for 2 on the day. He's walked twice. If he walks again, game over. Tagan has been on base 4 out of his 4 times up to the plate. Garnett is the runner on first. Howard over at second. The winning run, Crosby, is at third. The infield playing in. Here's the pitch. Off the plate. My goodness. If that had gotten away, Crosby's making his move over to home. You know Crosby's got the speed, and he's looking for that time when he gets the signal to make his way forward. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the kick and the pitch. That one low and away. He's halfway there to another walk. If he walks him, it may not be the most exciting finish to a game, but Shaker will take it as their second of back-to-back victories. Bases loaded, 1 away. Here's the 2-0. This one's skied in the right center. That's going to get down as a knock, and that will walk it off. In the right center, Tagan launches this one, and run number 7 comes across in the form of Nemo Crosby as he pinch ran for C.J. Landrum, and Shaker celebrates in the infield. How about that one? 6-7 is your final here at the Shaker Heights High School baseball field. Shaker wins this one once again. 2 back-to-back home games finish with extra innings. Here in the bottom of the eighth, Shaker gets it done. C.J. Landrum walked. Pinch running for him was Nemo Crosby. Crosby was that winning run in the end with bases loaded. Tagan got the job done with that skied hit into right center. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We're going to see you tomorrow in Pennsylvania. Shaker takes on North Allegheny on the road. We'll see you at a 7 o'clock first pitch. Thank you for joining. We'll see you then.